It had started with Casey Becker receiving a call. At first it seemed playful, almost flirtatious. The man on the other end of the line asked her about scary movies, but the questions gradually became darker, and when she answered one of the questions wrong, the tone shifted. The flirting disappeared, replaced by something cold and threatening. Sydney hadn't been there, but everyone in town heard about what happened next. Casey's boyfriend had been tied up outside. Panic had taken over. Casey ran, fought, and tried to escape, but Ghostface was faster. By the time her parents arrived home, it was already too late. Casey Becker and her boyfriend were dead. The entire town fell into chaos. The police searched for evidence and clues, but nothing seemed to lead anywhere. For Sydney, the murders reopened an old wound. A year earlier, her mother had been murdered. The police had blamed a local man named Cotton Weary, claiming he had been having an affair with her. Sydney's testimony had helped send him to prison. Not long after the murder, Sydney's phone rang. The moment she heard the voice, a familiar fear crept through her. It was the same tone, mocking, amused. The caller said he wanted to play a game. Sydney's heart pounded. The caller knew exactly who she was. He knew about her mother. That same night, the killer attacked. Ghostface burst into her house. Sydney fought back desperately. Just when it seemed like she might not escape, her boyfriend Billy appeared, but the phone that had dropped nearby wasn't his. Sydney ran again. The ghost mask suddenly appeared in front of her, until she realized it was Dewey. The mask had been discarded nearby. Soon after, the police arrested Billy when they discovered the cell phone. But Billy didn't stay locked up for long. After tracing the phone records, the police found that Billy's calls were clean. Billy insisted he was innocent, and he looked genuinely hurt that she had doubted him. Around the same time, a relentless journalist named Gail Weathers arrived in Woodsboro. Gail claimed she was investigating the truth about Sydney's mother's murder. According to her, Cotton Weary might actually be innocent. The night of the big party at Stu Mucker's house was when everything finally unraveled. It had been meant as a distraction, afraid of the killer still roaming Woodsboro. Billy met her there. They talked quietly away from the others, and he opened up about how distant she had become since her mother's death. In that moment of vulnerability, Sydney chose to trust him. But the killings hadn't stopped when Billy was attacked, and Sydney ran as Ghostface chased her. She climbed through a window and fell hard outside. That was when she saw something that froze her in place. Her best friend. Tatum had tried to escape through the garage, but Ghostface had trapped her in the automatic door. The machine had crushed her before she could get free. The sight shattered Sydney, but there was no time to stop. She ran toward Gail Weathers' news van, and through the delayed footage they saw Ghostface sneaking up